We have some single leg deadlifts today as our kind of main set. We are going to warm up with, however, with some, I have step ups here written, if you have the option, of course. If you don't have the option to step onto something, we have lunge steps instead. So both are fine. You're both, either way, you are doing 6 reps per leg. So these are non-alternating. Okay, so 6 right, 6 left. Whether you're doing stepping up on something or lunging forward or backwards. Good morning, I see a nose. From there, we're doing 6 per side. Bear plank, pull throughs, all that means is we're in a tabletop position, pulling a weight or an object from underneath us. We've done this a million times, but I'll review it in case you need it. And then 6 side planks, sorry, 6 per side. I know it's sort of, I misread that. 6 per side, comma, side planks. Side plank leg lifts. And I'll demonstrate those. We can just make this a good old-fashioned side plank if that needs to be a little more simple. And then we're going to repeat that. So everything is 6, which is quite easy. 3 times. Okay, so we're kind of work through these at our own pace. After that, we have some single leg deadlifts. We're doing 5 per side. And then we have some glute bridges and B stance goblet squats and plank pull throughs. So we'll go from there. So let's start very simply with some cat cows, or 10 cat cows-ish. 10-ish is a guideline here. Bird dogs, whatever else. Make some room for yourself, and we'll just start with some gentle movement first. Or so if these take your time with them. You've done 10. Letting your spine move safely, gently. Move into bird dogs. We extend our leg. The arm is optional, but I like to squeeze my butt on the extended leg first before I lift. So I'm not arching my spine too much or at all. And the hand is optional, so you just want to kick your leg back. That's fine. We're going to stay in tabletop position. We're kind of all fours here. A little upper back rotation, reaching towards the ceiling. And reaching through. This through element is gentle, so you don't be crazy about it. If you need to avoid the through, you can avoid the through reach as well. 3 per side. Okay, well here, let's have a seat. It's okay if you're not facing the camera for this bit. Feet are about shoulder width apart, and you're gonna just gently drop the hips. You don't have to have your opposite sit on the ground. I can't, I choose not to. And we're just gonna switch side to side. So I'm on my left side, if you're on your right, and my entire left IT band outside my calf and knee are on the ground. My opposite hip is off. I'll lean back to switch because I want to. And this should be a 2 out of 10 gentle hip warm up. So nothing extreme. So give your opposite sit bone be off the ground when you do this. Alright, last count. So I'm gonna do 2 more because I can't remember. Okay, excellent. Then we're gonna finish off the warm up with some inchworms. We're touching our toes here. So I'm gonna come to standing so you won't see my upper body for a second. I'm gonna touch my toes. You can bend your knees. You're gonna walk out to a plank shape, lay down and get back up. Standing up between your reps is optional, but you're gonna be touching your toes or the ground in front of you, walking out to your plank shape. You can drop the knees for the plank, the push up, back up. Nice and slow. Standing up, optional. I like to. And let's take your time and complete 5 of these. And these can be nice, gentle push-ups. They don't have to be crazy hard. Or even if you want to warm up a little bit, that's fine with me. You're laying down, getting up. Excellent. Once you've done your 5 reps, looks like we're all there. Let's kind of roll straight into our lunge steps, or I would say lunges or step ups, right? These are non-alternating, meaning you're doing 6 per side, right? So 6 on one leg before switching to 6 on the other. So if you need to grab a step stool, something sturdy, a box is great. Right, something you trust. Yeah, beautiful. And in fact, I'm gonna do the same because I'm unprepared. So one moment, please. I'm gonna tilt my camera up so you can see. Okay, so here's the deal, right? We have step ups. At least that's an option. I think most of us are going with that. I'll still demonstrate lunges in case you're doing lunges. When I step up to my object, I want my feet still pretty much neutral, right? Meaning my foot's forward, right? I'm not turning my toes out. I have a dining chair. You do whatever you need. And then just make sure you feel stable and comfortable, right? Stepping up, right? Stepping down. Right? However you like to do this. But the idea is we're trying to keep, we're just alternating, we're non-alternating, excuse me, our step ups. Let's start with 6 step ups per side. I want your feet at 12 o'clock. They're pointing on an analog clock. The higher your object, should you choose to do so, the more challenging. If you have a lower object, like a little step stool, and you want to make it more challenging, you can add weights in your hands. That can, right, but stepping up is fine. Unweighted. For my athletes lunging, forward is great if you feel so inclined. Stepping forward, again, feet forward. Touching the ground with the back knees, optional. Stepping back. Usually doing 6 of those per side. From here, we have our bear plank pull-throughs. So 6 per side, 12 total, however you want to think about it. The bear plank position itself, we just kind of practice that kind of inadvertently. And you're going to grab an object. I have a dumbbell, but honestly, anything grabbed single-handed, that's all we're looking for. So it doesn't have to be fancy. I'm putting this behind my wrist or between my wrist and my knee in this case. I'm going to push my toes into the ground, raise up my knees, and raise onto my wrist, reach across. All right, that's 1, 2, and we're going to total of 12. Trying to be as stable as possible. So there's a little wiggle here because the knee bend is harder than a plank shape. But in this case, control is more important than speed. The closer your knees are to the ground without touching, the harder, the more challenging this becomes. Excellent. And then finally, we have our 6 per side, side plank, leg lifts. The leg lift is a bonus for anyone with a side, struggling just with a side plank. I'm gonna have, you can either extend like fully side plank where your knee, your shoulder, your hip, your knee, and ankle are stacked. Bringing it forward, squeeze your butt. So that's your side plank. The leg lift itself is just this, right? So 6 per side. If you need to, you can drop the bottom knee. Same thing. 1, 2, 3. You get the idea, right? Kind of like a little starfish. So we're pushing down with this leg, this lateral glute's working, and then this one is working as you pick it up. And of course, you're stabilizing through the shoulder and lats. 6 per side. You can roll away from me if you need to. That's fine. I don't need to face the camera the whole time. You completed both sides of the side plank leg lifts. Then you're going to repeat that step up, 6 per leg, 6 per side, pull through 12 total, and your leg lifts.
Very organized here.
That's okay. Best you can. Also, that was absolutely salt water. Excuse me. Post-bike ride salt water.
Ew.
That's not what I was expecting. I was like, ooh, water. That came off my bike or Nikki's bike, debatable, but okay, I'm awake. Coffee and citric acid. That's okay. Yeah, you can move things around. I'm sure you go figure out what works for you. Oh, my dining's too much chair now because you guys can keep stepping. We're doing this a total of 3 times. We had the first round together. The following 2 can kind of be at a pace that you're comfortable with. A little faster, a little slower. It's fine. A little late, but for any, and I know this does not apply to the 3 of you here, but for anyone dealing with some wrist issues, meaning compression on the wrists, as in holding handlebars and not TT, is an issue, we can still adjust and make planks work. You can elevate your elbows, or if you'd like, but ultimately I realize this is a couch, but the rules apply. I'm doing the pull through. You can still have your forearms on something, doing your plank shape, right? Obviously this is adapted for a couch, but you can still pull through. So a sturdier surface makes more sense here. But if we need to go onto the elbow, like a forearm plank and an elevated one, and and then do other plank variations that can work here. So no need to put pressure on the wrists if that feels not so good.
Yeah, my what is it? Left? No, right. My right ankle is still a little sore, so I'm doing what I can, but modifying with some of the moves you showed us. So
Yeah, I was trying to think of probably, is it the bear plank ones that are cranky?
yes, yes.
If your feet
So
are doing a lot of stabilizing. If you
yeah.
want to pull, well, if you want to do a plank from your knees, do the same
Oh,
thing.
okay. I was just putting the one knee down, but
That's comfortable. That's fine. A one knee down is fine, Marisa. That's okay
and
too.
then side plank like on
On
my
the knee.
on the
Yeah.
one side. Yeah. So yes.
And on the knee, even for the side plank, can be used for anyone who just struggles with the side plank, where they're like, hey, that's just too hard to do a full length one. Um, so no, it's good. Adapting as you need. Ooh, nice job, y'all. Getting to your third and final round. Good. I guess Maxine and Meg are going together. Eh, not important. Just cool. Well, I hope they get there safely. Okay. As we finish up this third and final round, also, I bought a weight belt and it has kitties on it, which I'm very excited about. Um, I weightlifted for over 15 years. That's my first weight belt, which is an odd thing to do, but no, I mean, why not now? Um, okay, my friends. So we have 5. So we've finished that sort of the work before the deadlifts. Um, so hopefully feel ready to balance on one leg. That's kind of one of our tests. And then we have some hinging patterns. So the hips will be moving backwards, meaning the hamstring's going to load a little bit in our glutes. So we're doing 5 sets of 5 per side, meaning we're going to do 5 reps on one leg of a single leg deadlift and then 5 reps on the other. Weight is optional, meaning if you're working on balance, we can keep the weight basically non-existent as it's just you. The weight lighter, or if you'd like something a little more hefty, I'm also fine with that. For my athletes who are more advanced or feeling confident, you can increase range of motion, meaning you can start to lower yourself down, which makes it more challenging, as well as increasing weight. So the deadlifts themselves, again, can have a leg lift or not. And you can carry your weights in a abundance of ways, one of which is 2, one in each hand. If you're carrying a singular object, which I just tend to do because I like to, I like to hold opposite of my standing leg. In this case, I have my kettlebell kind of right opposite, so I'm going left leg deadlift. My foot can remain down. My hip is going to move back. This is a horizontal motion. The range of motion increase for my athletes who choose to do so is the knee bend after the hip back. So my weight is still very much on my front leg. I'm not really using the back leg at all here. It's just making sure I'm not falling over. So the balance demands on this version are much lower than doing them this way. Right. So they're both fine, but I want 5 of each. You may rest between legs or between sets. Okay. If you have the option to increase weight, that's great. If you don't, that's okay. So foot can be down or up. And this is one of those things where you can decide what works better for you. If you want to add load, I find foot downs, it can add a lot more weight. If I want to bias balance, I tend to lift my back leg and my weight tends to be lighter. Nice job. Hopefully we feel this predominantly in our butt or hamstrings, or that we're just working on balance. And the increased range of motion comes from a knee bend, not a reach with the shoulder, right? So we're not rotating through the chest, the knee's just bending. So keep the chest up, Arisa. I want the hips moving, even if the ankle's a little stiff, right? Just move the hip back and stop. Yeah, that's it. Lovely. That's all you need. Range of motion can differ leg to leg for many reasons, not just a wonky ankle. Yeah. And if it helps, Trudy, you can stick the hand out. I usually stick my opposite hand out, but that's just me. I feel like I'm doing an airplane. Kind of helps me balance a little. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Joseph, nice increased range of motion. There you go. Yeah, and if you need something next to you, a table, a sofa, something that you can kind of hang on to, a wall, that's fine for a little bit of extra stability. There you go. And that front leg to be soft, that knee to be soft, so no locked out joints if we can help it. So, good. That's okay. Oops. Yeah. Wobbling's fine. That's kind of part of this whole process, is sort of like finding your balance. And you can always put your foot down mid lift if you feel like you're gonna topple. You don't have to go down with your, like, well, you don't have to fall down. You don't need to. But a little wobble here and there. It's fine. Good. Nice. Yeah. And you'll notice there's a side, well, probably you'll notice, hopefully, there's a side you have a harder time with, and that could be muscular endurance, that could just be stability in general, or just your brain doesn't work so well on that side. Left leg, right leg, doesn't matter. Again, you can carry your weights differently. Like I said, I carry opposite of my standing leg. Some people prefer to carry the weight on their standing leg. So if you're standing on your left leg, you can hold the weight on the left leg. But try it, see what you prefer. It's good to know what your preference is. There you go. Nice. I know your kettlebell's big, Joseph, but if you can just, and you're bending your knee, but if you could just tap the ground versus like placing the kettlebell like a cane, yeah. That's great. I realize with a bigger bell, it's kind of hard to keep going. Nice job. Yeah, here we go. And range of motion can differ per leg, meaning the level. Yeah, good. And you're doing a great job, Trudy. I can't see you from the side, so you can look for yourself. You want to make sure when your hips going back, the chest is not going past the hip motion, right? So if you feel like your hips are moving and your chest stops, great. If you're reaching the bell with your chest, that's a little too far. So I think of this as a horizontal motion, the hips moving back as opposed to the chest moving down. Yeah. Think head back. There we go. It's up there. Beautiful. Good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Soften that front knee. So if the knee feels like it's locking out, which is normal as your body's trying to find stability, go ahead and soften that front knee. So the hips moving behind. Yep, there we go. Good. Yeah. Yeah, when we stack joints, right, standing up, right, it's easier because we're just like Legos when they're stacked vertically. When we start to soften joints and then move them, in this case, that's on purpose, we have to use musculature to support ourselves. So it's a slight difference. Beautiful. So that wasn't a huge, I would say, relatively speaking, was not a huge amount of volume, but we can increase complexity and load depending on your needs and frankly, what you're doing in terms of your events. And not all of us are on the same race schedule and we do all sorts of stuff. So if you see something in the workout, you're like, ooh, 25 reps is either not enough, or maybe it's too much, we can adjust or you can adjust accordingly. Beautiful. So for our third and final section of today, we have some single leg variations on glute bridges. It goes without saying you can just do a regular glute bridge with 2 feet. Okay, so if single leg is not feeling good, go with a regular glute bridge. These can be weighted if you choose, although it's not required. So grabbing your dumbbell, your kettlebell, and the pausing element's just at the top. So we're doing 8 per side if you're doing the single leg variation. Single leg can be split stance or B stance where your feet are kind of uneven. So on purpose. So this is sort of an assisted variation where this leg is the one working, this one is the one supporting, or a full leg lift. So it doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to go unweighted because I'm not that strong. Not in a glute bridge. So if I go B stance where my feet, one leg, my right leg is a little more extended. My left glute is engaged. I'm braced. Then I lift, right? I could do 8 like this, or I can do 8 where I lift the foot all together, right? There's no wrong answer, okay? The pause is at the top. So it would be hold for 1, come down. Or if you're lifting leg, hold for 1, and then come down. Start with yeah. So you're gonna squeeze your glutes first. Before squeeze your butt, brace, then lift. So we're not lifting and squeezing. Should be already squeezed prior to lift. And you can respect your hip extension, right? That means how much your hip opens. You don't have to go into anything you can't do well. It's okay. Once you have your 8 per side, you'll come back to a seated position or whatever, upright. Good. The next we have, everything's 8, so that's easy. 8 per side, so we have 2 options. The first one is less complicated. The second one requires more skills, but it's not a bad thing. So if you can do like a single leg squat or Bulgarians are feeling easy, the second one is going to be a good challenge. So the first one is a B stance goblet squat. Similar idea to what we just talked about where the feet are uneven. We're just going to be standing up. So the goblet position is just holding a weight at your chest, just to be clear, right? I'm going to show you the bottom half of my body, not the top. When I'm doing a goblet squat, typically my feet are even, right? So they're in line with each other. On the side, I'm squatting down, standing up, okay? A B stance variation or split stance, same thing, is where I kick the leg off to the side. So it's not quite a split squat, but it's where one leg is back, right? And then I have weight at my chest, okay? I'm gonna sit on my right leg, this one, left leg. You see my cat in a second, possibly, or my partner's hand. She can't see her. Hi, baby. You're very cute. You're gonna squat down. Yep, thank you, Nikki. It's very helpful. And we're doing, right, 5 reps. I'm still very much on my front leg. I am. She's in a flower right now. Do you want to say hello? Okay. Option 2. Okay. These are my, if you feel inclined. Shrimp squat. This is, I actually need her off the mat. That'd be really helpful. Thanks. She's very cute, but not helpful. Shrimp squat. This is one of those where it's kind of like a single leg squat, but this time, so I'm doing this on my right leg, so the one facing you. This leg's the one that's going to go down. I'm basically going to step back, right? My foot is flat, and then drive off my front leg, right? So I'm basically not, I'm going to step back, not like a lunge, but with the top of my foot on the ground. I would do it unweighted first if you want to try that. Otherwise, 8 per side, B stance, goblet squats, or shrimp squats. So you're driving off that front leg. Yeah, good. Nice job. Good. Nice, Risa. So that being said, you're actually not intentionally, I realize reverse lunge steps versus split squats are slightly different. Just keep that foot behind you the whole time, next time. So the back leg stays behind you. So 2 reps in a row would be, right? So if I'm using the leg that's closest to you, would be 1, and then 2, right? You'd be staying on that leg. You're not you're not bringing that foot forward unless you're switching sides. So I'm going to change the side plank pull through because we did the plank reach throughs already. So we're going to do something different. I typoed that. So we're going to be doing, we'll wait till these guys are done. We want to get started, a hollow hold, and then we're going to press or some sort of tuck. I'll demonstrate this again for you guys, Trudy and Reese, so don't worry about it. But so this is where we have a weight, a kettlebell is fine. You're going to find yourself in that sort of tuck shape, or if you feel like you can do a slightly more extended variation of this, right? That's fine, but with the low back on the ground. The head is tucked. You can have your weight ready. So I'm going to have my, so the tuck can be here. It can be here. You're going to go ahead 1, 2, 3, right? We're pressing from a hollow position. If we're having trouble with this head position, it can cause a lot of tension here. You can do, right? We can tuck here, brace 1. But this is going to kind of get more abs engaged. 8 per side. So we're going to tuck as your baseline. Anything extended beyond this is fine. The higher leg, the easier, lower leg, the harder. And then you're going to either one weight at a time. Right? When you're in, go for it. That's hard. You can also hold a dead bug position if you prefer. So that's going to be a little more friendly on the head and neck. So the dead bug will be here. Right? So still want to be braced, knee over hip, and pressing. Both work. You can take a break between sides as well. You don't have to. Good. Once you completed those 8 per side, hollow hold, press from a hollow hold position, you can go back to your pausing glute bridges. Right, so basically when you're ready, you're doing 3 total rounds of this. Good, 8 per arm. Good. Trudy, you have about 5 more minutes, so we're at 6:40. Yeah. So
What? Go back to glute bridges?
yep. So you're gonna go back to the 8% glute bridges. That being said, you can take a break. If you want to take a break, that's more just like that was the end of the 3 movements we're doing for this section. Resting between sets, between legs, anything that makes sense for you, that's okay. There's no timer in terms of like setting rest here, besides the fact that I want you to take some rest. Engage the glutes before, even I have brothers for be dancing this, both of them, before you lift your hips. So butt is squeezed, your belly's braced, then you lift the hips for that glute bridge. Yeah. Good.
The shrimp squats in between, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So you have pausing glute bridges,
Oh,
side, shrimp squat. Don't worry
big
about it.
question.
Don't worry about it. The order is, you know what though, although, you know, in retrospect, doing the glute bridges and the hollow hold press makes a lot more sense because you're already on the ground. So if you're switching those 2 things around, I'm not worried about it. Okay, so it's not going to it's not going to severely impact your workout. It will if you don't do that, but it's not going to be like you did it the wrong order and therefore it's the end of the world. Yeah. So the squat variations, whether you're doing goblet, B stance goblet, or shrimp. Yeah, good. Hopefully we're getting 3 sets, or frankly, whatever remaining time that you have on your schedule. So if you need to run or shorten it to 2, that's okay. Nice job. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, actually, so I know it sounds silly, but I like that, Trudy. If you need to like touch the muscle that you want to work, I do this when I'm doing my PT. I grab my butt because I'm like, I need you to come with me here. We're doing this. We're doing so it's like sometimes touching the muscle group, if you can, not always, like slower on the body, that you want to engage. In this case, in the glute bridge, your butt. It's not a bad idea. Yeah. It's a gentle reminder to be like, hey, I need you to come with me here. If you're in a public space, that might be questionable. Maybe not. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? I haven't been to like a Globo gym situation in a while, so I don't know what's acceptable these days. But for the pressing, try and keep the back, if you're laying head down, that is, trying to get the back of the shoulder and shoulder blades on the ground. So it's gonna feel like you're like kind of back here. If you're in that hollow hold, it's okay to have a little bit of a reach just because of the position of the chest. But if we're dead bugging, head's on the ground, I want that shoulder nice and flush to the floor. Yeah, good. Is that wrong? 4 for you, Joseph? Or 3?
I think it's my last one.
Okay. Fair enough. No, I trust you. I was mostly and Trudy, it is 6:45 if you need to go. Yeah, there she goes. She's off.
Goodbye, Trudy.
Goodbye, Trudy. She had work. She has to go to work, so
Oh,
she has to go to a job.
that silly thing.
I know.
Overrated.
So rude. Kidding. She did great. I'm glad she came. Is your Joseph, is your job like a 9 to 5, or are you kind of more variable with like, because I know the businesses you work with are nighttime businesses.
I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 ish. Ish. I kind of control my own schedule.
Yeah, that's
It's
nice.
also one of those things where if I can get everything done sooner, it's fine. And it's obvious when I don't.
Oh yeah, fair. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
some days I don't work as long, and some days I have to work not 9 to 5. But
yeah, that makes sense.
I also create a structure where I can benefit. But
Yes.
it's like everyone wins.
Good. Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad that I was gonna say, I feel like depending on what side of the business you're on, right? Like I know you're on the more the business side of the business as opposed to the service side. But if
Right.
I feel like sometimes if you're anywhere near service, you're like, I might be here till 3 a.m. That's what
Yes.
you do at a bar. You have to like,
I'm learning. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I told you, or maybe Nikki already told you. I got a new job.
congratulations.
Thank you.
That's very cool.
So I'm working in the office of Off the Grid Hospitality.
Awesome.
And yeah,
Um,
I'm
it's
not, yeah.
it's
Trying
good
to
to know,
him.
in the hospitality business, not just because they give you free stuff, but because it's nice to know people in service. But it's also, yeah, it's nice to be like, oh yeah, I know so and so who knows so and so who knows so and so. It's a very small world, and once you know
It's a
one
very
person,
small world.
you're like, they're like, oh yeah, you're good. If they like you, you're probably good people. Like you're pretty solid. Um, Nice. Arisa Thing is finishing off our 3rd and final round, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I just went to Zuni for the first time. Zuni Cafe, which I know has been there for decades.
The one on Market.
Oh,
It was everything that, like, it's been hyped up for a long time, but it was phenomenal. I don't know. No notes. Lovely. Very cool. Weirdly big restaurant. Like, you look at the building, you're like, how do you have 3 floors or 2 floors?
2 floors, 2 floors. I mean,
Well, like,
I only went because people were visiting from out of town and they're like, it's famous, we want to visit it. And like,
it is famous. But the
okay.
thing is, it's famous and it's still good. I think that's what's impressive. You can be famous and like you were good at one point, but this was famous and still good. And was it a lot of money? Yeah. Was it worth it? I think so. It felt worth it, which was really nice. So we digress. Anyway, that was it. We're done early. So if you want an extra 12 minutes,
Oh,
the hour, I know. Well, we only talked, Joseph, for 6 minutes today.
That's good.
I know. Meg texted me. She's like, I'm still watching. You're still not working out yet. I was like, right. There's catching up and just checking in, saying hello, seeing who are, and there's just talking. And we were just talking. So I'm making an effort to say hello, check in, touch base, and then just move into the workout.
It's like a bike ride. It's like a group bike ride. I have a 6-minute grace period.
I'm that way on a bike ride too. Like, I cannot stand sitting at a cafe for half an hour and I'm like, cool, now I'm cold and now we're climbing. Great. So glad we did, or like, I can't. A group more than 6, you're like, this is too many people. Everyone's getting iced coffee or espresso. Those are your 2 options. Go. You are not getting, no.
fancy schmancy something. Yes, it's cold brew or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
little hot.
cappuccino with 5 pumps of something, and yeah.
Nope,
That's
can't
why you
stand
get
it.
the caffeinated gels and skip the coffee shop altogether.
Yeah, honestly, I prefer the coffee shop stop over halfway or like on my way home. So I'm
Yeah.
a little- like I only have like a quarter of my ride left, and
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
way more fun because then you can like actually enjoy it. You know, you don't say, "Oh, I've been on 30 miles." Good. Friends, enjoy your day. I hope you
Okay.
feel well. Let me know how you feel. I'll see you later.
All right. Thank you, Kirstie.
Thank you.